Hi, I'm Irving. Welcome to Kato and Black Beauty. Oh yeah, him too. As we begin, the Green Hornet and Kato are following a guy who's making his way onto a derelict ship called the Sally Bell. I assume we'll find out why in due course. Or the Green Hornet will make an amateurish mistake and blow the whole thing.
Wander! This is the Green Hornet. I want to talk. I got no talking to do.
The first step to getting him more interested in talking is going to be to get rid of that gun. I don't think that's what he was going for. My guess is he expected the guy to let go of the gun, not follow it off the ladder. Why are they after him anyway?
Somewhere aboard, there's $2 million worth of narcotics. And he's the only one that knows exactly where.
Okay then, setup complete, roll the opening credits. They take the injured man to a hospital.
You know, I thought you were invented by someone. For kicks. You are the Green Hornet.
But not for kicks, Doctor.
Yeah, Britt Reed invented them as an alter ego so he could... oh, wait, that's not what you meant.
Will he live?
I don't know. It looks like a concussion. Miss Christie, have Nurse Grayson meet me in emergency. And then call the police.
A concussion. The same thing a boxer gets when he loses a knockout. The same thing a football player can get if he hits too hard. With rare exceptions, they're not life-threatening. And considering this guy only fell a few feet, I'm starting to think this doctor's medical philosophy begins with the word overreact. Well, of course, the Green Hornet will be long gone by the time the police get there, but these people seem to think they have to make the token gesture anyway. He tells the doctor the man's name is Gus Wander and the police will be interested to know that. The bad guys are waiting to hear from Wander, and one of them is watching Batman. The same guy produced both shows, so they had a bit of crossover like this during the Green Hornet series. We have Bruce Wayne saying, "Turn on the TV, it's almost time for the Green Hornet," and now we have a Green Hornet villain watching Batman. So both characters acknowledge that the other one is just a TV show, and yet they meet and interact on more than one occasion in real life. It's a nice little bit of cognitive dissonance, and I have no doubt it was deliberate. A henchman arrives and says nobody seems to know where Wander is. Just then, a bulletin on the TV gives them the answer.
The Hornet was not, repeat, not apprehended. Further bulletins as the news develops.
I want Wander.
Ah, the good old days before privacy laws. The bulletin said he's in a deep coma, so he's not likely to talk to anybody, including you. But greed never thinks that far ahead.
They got a tip that $2 million in narcotics was leaving Hong Kong, destination USA.
And Wander was in on it?
Up to his ears. He sailed as an ordinary seaman aboard the freighter Sally Bell.
That means either he hid the drugs himself, or the people who did told him where they were, and he was supposed to be the contact person at the other end. Either way, now we know why he's the only person who knows where they are.
Why didn't you tell me? I would have had him picked up.
Because the Sally Bell didn't make it. She was caught in a typhoon, abandoned by all hands. She was picked up for salvage. That's where she is now.
Well, then the narcotics must still be aboard.
Exactly.
First one to find him gets to throw the biggest party this city ever saw. Scanlon calls the police officer guarding Wander's room and asks, can he be moved?
Get off from behind her, lady.
Something's going on. I don't know what.
You harmed the girl. I won't go with you.
Now, look.
Mean that. And if the man is to live, you need me.
Maybe you're right.
I'd leave her alone.
That doctor has some brass. She's already met the Green Hornet tonight, and now these guys, and she's still unruffled enough to look out for the nurse. Reed and Scanlon start trying to figure out who would engineer a kidnapping like this.
Bert Selden.
Of course.
It has to be Selden. I'm going to get right on him.
Wait a minute, Frank. He has the doctor. She'd be the first one hurt.
Rather than have Scanlon go lean on him, Reed has another idea.
We play our cards right. Let Selden get the narcotics. And we can catch him with his hands full. and dirty.
You tried that before with the phony Green Hornet, remember? It didn't work too well. At Selden's place, he's telling the doctor to wake Wander up because he needs to talk to him. She's pondering what to do when they're interrupted.
Check it. Who is it?
The Green Hornet. I've got a proposition for Sheldon.
He and his two henchmen get into position, then he tells the Green Hornet, come on up. We go to commercial with nobody but the bad guys believing the Green Hornet is dumb enough to fall for that.
Is that any way to greet a future business associate?
The bad guys always underestimate him, and I always wonder why. Haven't they been watching the same show we have?
How is he, Doctor?
Not good.
Then that leaves it entirely up to me.
Meaning?
Wander's the only one that knows exactly where the shipment is. I know the approximate location. That's a lot more than you do.
Okay. You're calling the shots? How do we move?
We'll get Wander close to the stuff. See if the doctor can bring him around. It'll save a lot of time. You can follow me.
Get Wander and the doctor down to your car.
Just a minute. We'll split them up. If they're a winning combination, we'll both have half.
What's the matter, Mr. Hornet? Don't you trust me?
Only as far as I can see you, Selden.
With the doctor and the Black Beauty and unconscious Gus Wander in the other car, they head to the Sally Bell. Along the way, Selden calls someone named Honey Boy and says, I have a job for you. I think we can all guess what it is. While the doctor is giving Gus something to wake him up, Honey Boy arrives and sets up with a sniper rifle.
That would have kept him under for hours.
Painlessly. And maybe giving him a chance to live he doesn't deserve.
This doctor has more nerve than I'll ever have. That was as gutsy as anything I've ever seen. Too bad it didn't work. Now all they can do is wait and see if Wander wakes up again. Selden tells his man to take the doctor onto the deck before he loses his temper. Wander wakes up long enough to tell Selden where the shipment is hidden. The Green Hornet says, all right, we'll take care of him and the doctor and meet you down there.
According to plan, we have 5 minutes to get out of here after I signal Scanlon.
We're gonna make our move in about 5 minutes.
That should give them time to clear out so they're not caught up in the police sweep with everybody else.
Doctor, you either come with us willingly or you will be carried.
Unless Honey Boy is out there trying to keep him from ever leaving. While Selden and his man are gathering the narcotics, Honey Boy has kept the others pinned down long enough that Scanlon and the police are on their way. With time running out, the Green Hornet pulls a box out of his coat. It's a remote control for the Black Beauty. Now we know he's been watching Batman too. The car's rockets send Honey Boy scurrying away. We get the big fight scene and then the aftermath as the Green Hornet and Kato prepare to evade the police.
You could have gotten away, you know.
I know.
I would have offered you a ride home, but I suppose you'd feel safer with the police.
Not necessarily.
By the way, here's my number. Call me sometime. She's more than a little smitten. Considering the way he just saved her life and her patients and brought down a major gangster, you can't blame her. In the epilogue, Mike Axford is on the warpath. Again. Or still, if you prefer.
Listen to this. This is an item bought and paid for to go into our personal column. Man in green mask. Urgent you have immediate physical examination. Respond. Britt, that's an item directed to the Green Hornet. There's no telling what message it conveys.
You're right, Mike. Turn it down. We can't be a party to that.
A very personal physical exam, if you get my drift. Britt agrees, kill it. But then he gets an idea.
Mike, on that narcotics thing, wasn't there a doctor involved?
Dr. Hannah Thomas.
Courageous lady. Kidnapped, threat to her life. Mike, we're going to have the Sentinel give her a testimonial dinner. Governor, mayor, plaque, I'll say a few words.
Maybe a private little supper afterwards at your club.
Hey, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I suspected you'd like that.
It's always hard to read Miss Case when it comes to Britain women. She almost seems to help promote his womanizing image, but when they talk about it, she frequently seems, well, jealous.
Is she attractive?
Very. Brainy, too. I'm surprised she let the Green Hornet get away.
Don't count on it, Mike. She may get another chance.
Like that. The exact nature of the relationship between these two is hard to pin down. At times, they act like the typical boss-secretary thing, but since she knows his secret, they share a bond more intimate than that. There's never been any hint of romance or even any romantic interest to any degree, but once in a while we get little tidbits like that to suggest she's a bit more into him than she lets on. Since we only got the one season, they never explored that. From what we've seen, she doesn't want him for herself, but has a problem sharing him with other women. It's too bad we didn't get to dig deeper into that conflict. As it was, she came out barely three-dimensional, and even then only as it related to her professional life. We never learned anything about her home situation, what she wants out of life, how she learned that Britt Reed was the Green Hornet. We know almost nothing about her. But just like Batman, almost nobody has any real backstory in this show. We don't get an origin story, for example. We get little hints about why he became the Green Hornet, which is really more than we ever got about Batman, but no actual this is how and why it came about. That's why I'm curious. Working with Scanlon makes sense because if things go wrong, he's got an ally on the inside. But I would really like to know how Miss Case got into it and how she came to terms with it. Alas, 'tis not to be. We have to be satisfied with her being there and being his confidant because. Until next time.